You track every single calorie. You eat painfully clean. You spend hours sweating at the gym, doing endless crunches, and punishing your body with intense cardio. But no matter how hard you push yourself, that stubborn, frustrating pouch of lower belly fat just sits there, completely mocking your strict discipline. It feels incredibly unfair. You might be looking in the mirror right now thinking, do I need to eat even less? Do I need to practically starve myself to see results? Stop right there. Because your problem is absolutely not on your dinner plate. What if I told you that the bulge around your middle is not the normal soft fat you think it is? It is something far more sinister. We are talking about visceral fat. This is a toxic, highly active living tissue that is literally wrapping itself tightly around your liver, your intestines, and your vital organs right now as you listen to my voice. And here is the terrifying truth that the fitness industry is completely missing. Visceral fat is killing people twice as fast as heart disease. You do not need to be visibly overweight to be in extreme danger. If you have just 1 single pound of this hidden lethal fat inside your body, it is actively cutting your life short. But do not panic just yet. In this video, we are going to expose the real biological trigger behind this trap. We will uncover the truth about cortisol belly, show you exactly how to test your personal danger levels right at home, and reveal the ultimate biohacking techniques to flip your metabolic switch and drain this toxic fat while you are deep asleep. Keep watching. To understand how to destroy this fat, we have to look closely at the brutal biology of your midsection. Your body is not broken. It is simply responding to chemical signals. And right now, your abdomen is acting like a giant magnet for fat. Let us look at the first biological trigger, the stress hormone known as cortisol. Your visceral fat is incredibly smart, but in a deadly way. It actually has a much higher density of cortisol receptors compared to any other fat tissue in your body. This means that whenever you are chronically stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, your body floods your system with cortisol. Your belly fat opens its gates, eagerly devours that circulating fat, and locks it inside. This creates a distinct look, a firm, rounded, and constantly protruding shape often called a cortisol belly. It is not a food problem. It is an alarm bell ringing inside your nervous system. But cortisol does not work alone. It has a dangerous partner called insulin resistance. If you notice that your arms and legs are relatively lean, but your stomach seems to hold onto every single gram of fat, listen closely to your cravings. Are you constantly daydreaming about sugary snacks or salty treats? That is not a lack of willpower. When your cortisol is chronically high, it forces your liver to dump extra sugar into your bloodstream. Your body responds by pumping out massive amounts of insulin to clear that sugar. Over time, your cells become completely numb to this hormone. This is insulin resistance. Your body blocks your ability to burn fat for fuel, leaving you exhausted, constantly hungry, and trapped in a vicious cycle of fat storage. Now, here is a massive twist that almost everyone misses. What if that bulge is not even fat at all? Many people suffer from a brilliant illusion created by their own digestive system. As we face chronic stress or simply grow older, our bodies naturally lose stomach acid. Without enough acid, your stomach cannot properly break down the healthy proteins and clean foods you are eating. Instead of being digested, that food sits there, ferments, and creates massive amounts of trapped gas. You are not fat, you are severely bloated. Before you assume you have a major weight problem, try a simple test at home. Use natural digestive enzymes, or a small tablespoon of apple cider vinegar before your largest meal. If your stomach visibly flattens within a few days, you just solved your belly problem without cutting a single calorie. You might be sitting there right now thinking, wait a second. I am actually a very calm person. I love my job. My family life is peaceful, and my finances are perfectly fine. So how on earth could my cortisol be spiking out of control? Here is the grand illusion of the modern world. Your primitive brain cannot tell the difference between a real life-threatening emergency and your everyday digital habits. To your cells, running for your life from a dangerous predator feels exactly the same as mindlessly scrolling through a chaotic social media feed. When you sit in a dark room and look at your phone, that intense blast of blue light hits your eyes and triggers an immediate chemical reaction. Your brain assumes the sun is high in the sky, panics, and floods your system with cortisol to keep you alert. Now, add that extra cup of coffee you drank at 4 in the afternoon to survive the workday slump. Add the constant vibration of notifications, the subtle addiction to checking your emails, and the underlying anxiety of the daily news. You are not relaxed. Your physical body is operating in a state of constant, invisible terror, drowning in stress hormones while you are simply sitting on your couch. Hormones are shifting, but the absolute worst damage happens to the people who are trying the hardest to be healthy. This is the tragic paradox of modern fitness. You want to lose the weight fast, so you push your body to the absolute limit. You skip breakfast and fast for 20 hours at a time. You drastically cut your calories down to a bare minimum. Then, you force your exhausted body to wake up at dawn for intense, punishing cardio sessions. Day after day, without ever giving yourself a chance to rest and recover. You think you are demonstrating incredible willpower, but your biology views this as severe physical abuse. When you starve your cells and refuse to let them rest, your internal survival systems scream that there is a massive famine. To keep you alive, your body makes an executive decision. It completely deprioritizes your reproductive health. It actively shuts down your production of testosterone and DHA, because a starving body cannot afford to waste energy on growth and vitality. And when these crucial, fat-burning hormones completely crash, your metabolism grinds to a total halt. Your body becomes absolutely terrified of losing energy, so it locks down its fuel reserves. It hoards every single calorie you consume, and packs it directly into your deepest storage unit, your lower belly. You are not failing your diet. Your frantic, stressed-out body is simply trying to save your life. So, how do you stop guessing and start measuring the truth? If you want to win a war against your own biology, you need real data. You cannot just look in a mirror and guess. Your first actionable step is to find out exactly how many pounds of visceral fat are hiding inside you. The gold standard for this is a DEXA scan. It is a quick, painless medical scan that costs around $100, and it reveals your exact body composition with absolute precision. If you cannot get a DEXA scan, invest in a high-quality smart home scale. While cheap scales can be inaccurate, the top-tier models are up to 98% accurate and provide a highly reliable trend line you can track consistently at home. Next, you need to take a look inside your bloodstream. Go to your doctor and ask for 3 specific tests. First, ask for a fasting insulin test and an A1C test to see exactly how numb your cells have become to sugar. Second, check a critical inflammatory marker called HSCRP, which stands for highly sensitive C-reactive protein. If your HSCRP level is above 2, your body is essentially on fire from the inside out, and that chronic inflammation is almost certainly being driven by the toxic visceral fat suffocating your organs. But here is a massive warning about testing your stress levels. Do not let your doctor run a standard blood test for cortisol. Cortisol fluctuates wildly from minute to minute, meaning a single blood draw is completely useless. To get the truth, you need a saliva spit test taken 4 to 6 times throughout a single day. This creates a clear map of your hormonal pattern. If you do want to use a blood test to check your stress, look at a hormone called DHA instead. Remember how we mentioned that stress destroys your vitality? If your DHA levels are bottomed out, it is a definitive sign that your adrenal glands are completely exhausted from pumping out cortisol for far too long. Once you have your data, it is time to deploy the ultimate at-home weapon against visceral fat, and that weapon is deep sleep. Sleep is not just passive rest. It is an intense, active biological cleanup process. During the first few hours of the night, when you fall into a true state of deep sleep, your brain does something absolutely mind-blowing. Your brain cells physically shrink in size. This shrinking allows your glymphatic system, which is the internal drainage and plumbing system of your brain, to turn on completely. It pumps fluid through your brain tissue, literally washing away the toxic waste and mental debris accumulated throughout the day. At the exact same time, your body pulses out a massive wave of growth hormone. Growth hormone is the holy grail of physical recovery and metabolic fat burning. If you cheat your sleep, you cheat this cleanup process, and you lock the fat inside your stomach. To biohack your bedroom for maximum deep sleep, start with the temperature. Your body needs to cool down to trigger deep rest. If your bedroom is warm, you are ruining your sleep architecture. Drop your thermostat down to 68 or 69 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 20 to 21 degrees Celsius. Next, feed your brain the nutrients it needs to relax. Supplements like magnesium L-threonate or magnesium glycinate can easily cross the blood-brain barrier to calm your nervous system. You can also use ashwagandha to physically blunt your cortisol spikes before your head hits the pillow. For severe cases, modern medicine even utilizes highly advanced biohacking tools under strict doctor supervision, such as a specialized peptide called tesamorelin. This unique peptide triggers a natural release of growth hormone while directly targeting the receptors on your visceral fat, forcing them to open up and burn away. Now that you have your internal data and your sleep strategy, let us talk about movement. When it comes to burning off visceral fat, a one-size-fits-all exercise program will completely fail. You must customize your workouts to match your exact stress personality. If you are completely exhausted and overwhelmed, but you are generally a relaxed, non-competitive person, do not force yourself into grueling workouts. Your magic weapon is simple, gentle walking. This is Zone 2 cardio, a pace where you are moving, but you can still easily hold a full conversation. This gentle movement signals to your nervous system that you are safe, naturally draining your cortisol while burning fat. But if you are a classic type of personality, a go-go-go high achiever whose mind is always racing to conquer the world, gentle walking might actually stress you out more. You need a release. For your personality, you need high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. You need short, powerful bursts of exercise to smash through that pent-up nervous energy and clear your mental slate. However, regardless of your personality, there is one absolute golden key that applies to everyone. You must lift weights and build lean muscle mass. Remember the biology we just uncovered. When you are stressed, your body constantly dumps excess sugar into your bloodstream. If you sit still, that sugar transforms directly into visceral belly fat. But muscle tissue acts like a massive metabolic sponge. The more muscle mass you have, the more sugar your body eagerly consumes for fuel, soaking it up before it ever has a chance to settle around your waistline. Building muscle is the single best thing you can do for your longevity. If you implement these personalized shifts, you will see your stomach visibly flatten in as little as 2 to 3 months. And remember, it is never too late. Even individuals in their 70s have completely reversed dangerous visceral fat using these exact steps. If you are ready to take control of your health, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. In our next video, we are diving into the exact roadmap to reverse insulin resistance from the absolute root. I will see you there.